for 10 years. MAP's been able to demonstrate that you can actually be successful at turning ideas into new ventures, employment, venture capital attraction through a university. People know you're serious about entrepreneurship when you put your own money on the table, and that's what the university's done now, put millions of dollars on the table to say, we're here to support university entrepreneurship. I don't think you can make a stronger statement than that about how serious you are.
Bardi is on a mission to reshape the global food system. To do that, we are transforming food waste into protein and fertiliser with insects. When Bardi was accepted into MAP, we were absolutely thrilled. We were so early in our journey, really only a few weeks in. So it was incredibly humbling to join a cohort of 10 other startups. By the end of that cohort, we were actually able to raise our very first funding round of $1 million, as well as bring in a number of amazing angels who we continue to work with today. MAP was incredibly helpful to accelerate our entry into the community. I've absolutely loved being able to work with a collaborative team to bring that very early vision through to the real tangible facility, labs and products we have today.
Over the last 10 years, the diversity in the founder network have been really instrumental in shining a light on what the Victorian ecosystem can do to support startups. Everything's showing us that we need to solve the world's problems today, and innovation is needed to do that. And so founders are taking this into their own hands and deciding they want to solve those problems without waiting for others to do so. So we're seeing those founders actually coming through MAP, and we're seeing an increasing proportion of impact founders through the network.
I grew up and I didn't know that I was neurodivergent. I knew that I was different, but I didn't know why. Next Level is something that would have been life-changing to me as a kid. We use cooperative gaming as a tool to teach teamwork and collaborative skills for neurodivergent kids. We've gotten so much out of MAP in terms of networking, in terms of knowledge for the future. Everyone's doing something different, but there's all this connection in this startup journey and trying to get your business off the ground. We were the first social enterprise to spin out of MAP as well, and to see more teams with a wellbeing-based projects or, child education projects is really exciting.
What many people don't know is that MAP's first office was actually in an attic in old metallurgy. When we went up there, we actually had to remove a squatter who'd been on the premises for quite some time and get him out of there so the founders could move in. And obviously now it's in Melbourne Connect, which is leaps and bounds from where it all began. I was the first employee there. I started in 2012. We didn't know really what we were doing, but what we did do is we just provided some funding to founders and got some mentors to come down and support them. I'm currently the CEO of Scalata Ventures, which is a seed stage venture capital fund. A lot of us who work together at Scalata actually used to work together at MAP. We saw a great opportunity to take that next level support to founders post-MAP and really help them take their businesses to the next level. We've invested in a number of MAP companies, and there's a number of interesting opportunities that have gone on to develop really strong and successful companies, and the list is actually pretty long these days.
6 years ago, I was cooking my chicken and veg and grabbed the seasoning. I just never thought twice to look at what was on the back of the label. There was added sugar, high amounts of sodium, and it was at that point the light bulb went off. I'm going to start a food company that challenges these big conglomerates and provides better options for more people. I completed the MAP program in 2018. I secured my first supermarket during the MAP program. It was one of the best periods of my business journey, to be honest. As a sole business owner, it is a really lonely journey, and I think I just got so present to community. I pushed myself beyond my own personal limits at MAP, purely because of who I was surrounded by. Since then, we now have a team of 6 people. We are now in 2,500 stockists around the country. We're stocked both in Coles and Woolworths, and so MAP has a real dear place in my heart. The additional 20k of funding made a huge difference in my business.
20k equity free, I think it could be the most important 20k that we've spent to date.
That amount of money is something that can really help with a lot of startup costs to provide, that rocket fuel to get your business to that next stage.
We were actually able to build an entire lab with that 20k.
It empowered me to continue to be able to grow and not be held back by scarcity or tight funds.
Spendable is a debit card program designed to allow people with disability to have a safer and more transparent way of handling their own money. MAP has been such an eye-opening experience for us. Being able to tap into such a broad range of expertise has really helped us excel, especially in developing our processes and frameworks. Some of the challenges that we had at the beginning are probably now our biggest strengths. Without this experience, we would not have made the progress that we have. It's fundamentally down to the program, the structure, and the people that are involved in MAP that has allowed us to start our next phase of growth and development as a business.
Encouraging translation of research and activity out of the university into the commercial world is really important. I think the most critical role MAP plays is supporting students to foster their ideas and grow viable businesses.
We've collectively created 1,800 jobs. A number of very successful companies come through MAP. They're having commercial impact, social impact, attracting very large amounts of venture capital.
We see a number of MAP alumni in the 30 by 30 program, which is identifying the top 30 companies that are likely to be unicorns by 2030. They're the role models of the future, and they are encouraging the next generation of student entrepreneurs to come through the system, and that is incredibly exciting.
Kaba is Australia's fastest growing automotive tech-enabled startup. I wanted to combine my digital experience with the auto side of things to make a more seamless way to access vehicles. When I first joined MAP, the business was sort of in nascent stages as well, and we were looking to scale up. MAP really helped us to be entrenched within the Victorian startup community. MAP helped us to access capital as well as investor relations, and also help us to create that cut-through in market as well and build our profile within the community. When I look backwards, it's sort of amazing in terms of the journey that we've taken and also the scale that we've reached.
MAP doesn't just stop after the 6 months. You are part of a community for life. So I finished in 2018 and I still come back.
We have our team working from the MAP office every Wednesday. That's something that's really important to us, and we still find enormous value in being connected to the MAP community.
We've seen mentors go on to provide guidance and support, but also invest in the companies, introduce them to investors, and in some instances even join the teams themselves.
But now, because MAP's had its 10th year, we've been around long enough to have that sort of recycling effect of knowledge, experience, skill and goodwill has had an extraordinary impact on MAP.
We completed the MAP program towards the end of 2012. Omni Studio was really small. We had these other great startups that were going through the same problems. We were all kind of supporting each other. And it was really great to be able to share that journey. Well, after MAP, we grew the business, we expanded to all these different countries. And then in 2019, a really big company ended up buying Omni Studio. Since then, we've been doing quite a bit of investing, and I've invested in a couple of MAP alumni companies such as Cadmus and Neuro. And then now I'm on to startup number 2, which is called Startup Galaxy. A lot of the stuff I learnt in MAP and have learnt from the community is going into this next startup, and a lot of people from the MAP community are using the product, which has been awesome.
MAP matters because we're actually showing that we can do it. It's done this from a startup itself. There was no playbook to follow. No one had done this at an Australian university before.
Funding for innovation and entrepreneurship is a key part of our culture of innovation in the University of Melbourne. We could open the door and show many more people in the university what great fun it is actually to innovate, how they can take their fantastic discoveries and really get them out there to make a difference in the world.
This year I actually had the good fortune to catch up with quite a few of the companies and the founders that had come through MAP. There are a number of people that are now the CEOs or co-founders of companies that are employing hundreds of people, and that all started back here.
It's 2017, I'm walking through the mall in San Francisco and I see this little pop-up stand, and it's for Neura, the headphones. And I remember seeing these when it was a little box that people were doing a demo of with MAP, and I'm watching people put these headphones on and get delighted in another country on the other side of the world. That's only one of the companies.
I think regardless of what industry you're in and what you're looking to get out of it, there is going to be something for you.
Being able to build a group of people around you as you go through the journey of building a startup is just so important.
Programs like MAP are what are allowing us to compete and take our innovation to the globe.
You know, no matter how old you get, whether it's me who's the oldest member of the MAP team or the youngest member, every time they leave here, you still feel like a proud parent watching them, leave home for the first time, and they go with, every best wish because we just really admire what they do.